Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Scorpio, it's actually been just over a week since I've done a reading. It might not seem like that because the video just came out of my channel yesterday, but I did some pre-recorded stuff to come out while I was away. It's kind of nice to be back, and I think I need to be back. Somebody needs some help. Somebody needs some guidance. I feel so. This is a really funny thing. I don't know, maybe you can see that card. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Anyways, I was pre-shuffling the cards here, getting a really good shuffle, like get my energy back into the cards. Because like I said, it's been I think about 8 days since I picked up a tarot deck. So I've got them here ready to go. And I've got the tea leaf deck and I'm shuffling that. And to be honest, I divided into two. And it's just too big. It's too big for me otherwise. And then I do all sorts of things with it. So I'm pre-shuffling. And I got your card out. I put them away so that y'all could rest. So I came back. I got it out. And honest to God, a card flies out from the tea leaf and it lands right on the table, like in front of me. And I'm looking at it. Like, what is that? Hand. In need of help, assistance, and guidance. How uncanny is that? And I felt like at first I kind of thought, oh yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do here. That's what I'm going to do. But then it almost felt like an energy was reaching through. I didn't even have the camera set up yet, which was really intriguing. I thought, wow, this energy is coming through. Now, I don't know, there's something interesting here. In the palm of this person's hand, I guess it would be their right hand, there is an M or a W, I guess, depending on which way you look at this. And I don't know if that has something to do with a pattern in your own hand or what that could be. But I really feel like there's someone specific here that's like, I really need some help or some guidance on something. Okay, so I'm going to do that, obviously. And I think I'm going to guide the reading in that way. I've just been shown what to do. I'm not going to do like your energy or the energies around you and in the future. I'm going to see what the guidance is about, what the topic is that needs to be discussed, because I feel like there's somebody that really needs some guidance. So here I am, and maybe you've been waiting. Yeah, it's just like this hand is like reaching out for this assistance and guidance. So as I'm going to do that, right, like it's a general reading, so don't always go with tarot is really supposed to tell you what you already kind of know. It confirms it for you, or it gives you the details about something obscure that you kind of understand, but hidden information. So take that as you will, right? So let's get started. Let's just start with the tea leaf deck. The hand is out. I hear you. So let's see. What is this topic about for this Scorpio reading? I feel like this energy is already reaching through, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. What is the topic of this? Well, the first card that came out is Barrel. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Well, okay. So there's something lacking, and you're almost like reaching out for some assistance or guidance. How do you get out of this feeling of lack, perhaps? How do you start taking the steps forward to shift this feeling of either lack in love, money, or your goals? Maybe you're not sure what your goals should be. Okay, this is interesting. Fair man. Dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. November. So funny. I'm just feeling like Sagittarius. Could be you though too. For November. But yeah, Scorpio, there'd be more Scorpios typically in November than there would be in October. Are you dealing with a fair man? Or is this the fair man that's coming through? It's kind of funny because there's both like these very pale kind of skin here. So if it is a fair man, whether you're masculine or feminine, I don't know who I'm doing the reading for. Is somebody's hand is coming out here. And I'm feeling more and more like this is a collective. I don't know. I'm sorry, Scorpio. Whoever's here. I might have to change the title. I feel like this is just a collective reading. Like there's just some sort of message that needs to come out. The cards have been sitting in silence and waiting for me to return. So let's see where this goes. A feeling of lack in your life. I kind of feel like the goals are the important aspect in that question now. In that feeling of lack. Is it love? Is it money? Or goals? Because if you're not sure what your goals are, it's hard to produce steps forward. Well, what do you do? If you don't know what your goal, what is your goal? Really just asking, what is your goal? As soon as you can identify what your goal is, you can start to form something around it. So if you're having trouble coming up with the question is, what is my goal right now? What is the goal that I have? So, okay, maybe you're feeling like, well, I don't have much going on in my love life, or I don't have much going on in my money life. But what is the goal that you want in those parts of your life? In November. That's intriguing. So yeah, what are the goals that you want? Do you want to be rich? Is that really going to give you fulfillment? Or do you want to just be able to save up for something in particular? Or are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? You know, that's all kind of like money related. Or are you just trying to save enough for first and last month's rent to move to a better place? It just feels like you need to write down what it is that you want. What is your goal here? Perhaps it is your long-term goal, and then you're going to have tiny little goals that you meet getting to that long-term goal. I feel like this is almost a self-help video. The wedge is at the bottom. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Okay, goldfish, increase in material wealth and spiritual growth. So something that you want. It could be some sort of material growth in your life, like something that's tangible. This doesn't just have to be money, that you're making more money. A material wealth, like things around you that you can say, like, I've achieved this. I mean, that could even be in love too. It could be relationships, strong relationships with people. I'm going to go to the Energy Oracle deck. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely like some sort of a collective for whoever needs this message. Don't worry, Scorps, your time will come. Well, the Scorps, maybe it's you guys. And maybe it has something to do, something to do with the 8th house too. Interesting. Sex, death, other people's money, taxes. It could just have something to do with the 8th house. Okay, I'm going to pull an Energy Oracle card for each of these sitting here. There's something that's going to happen in November, perhaps, with a fair man, or you're a fair man. You have a birthday in November, or something significant in November. Is there a fair man trying to come between you and a friend, or something that it is that you want that has to do with your goals? The barrel. The door to spirit. Okay. So you're feeling a lack in spiritualism on some level here, but it feels like it's appearing. It's like appearing as, you know, when you're hungry and you go to the cookie jar and the cookie jar is empty. So it is appearing there. It's just kind of amplifying that feeling to you that I'm hungry. So you're hungry for something. The barrel is empty. The fair man, deceit. What is this? November, the sun. Isn't it funny because the sun is coming behind the mountain and then there's the sun. Is there something you got yourself into here? Or is there something that I feel like the fair man is a depiction of you. It is either so even if it's the masculine side, like let's say you identify more as feminine or female, and the fair man though is coming up, like for me, like reaching your goals, that's utilizing your yang energy. So you're dealing with, and here and again, or are you dealing with some deceitful dude? It's very curious. The thinking man. The fair man, the thinking man, the deceitful man. Let's keep developing. Have you deceived yourself up to a certain point about what your goals were? Like, have you reached some goals and, you know, and then you get there and you think, oh, wow, well, it was great. But now what? I mean, you could even be the personality too that thrives on just trying to reach goals. And maybe you've achieved a goal. I feel like that, like you're deceiving yourself. You're deceiving something here. But you want the sun to come out in November. Maybe you've made a promise to yourself about, okay, I'm still picking up the Scorpio energy. I don't know who this is for. I'm just reading cards, baby. So there could be something that you promised yourself that you would achieve by your next birthday. Or something you've given yourself a deadline. There's something kind of deadline-like about this November. Oh, I said this November. So whenever you're watching this, if you're watching this a couple years from now, the November that you're approaching. And certainly with you have deceit and the sun, so it's definitely coming out of the shadows and coming into a period of strong clarity, very strong clarity. Maybe you feel like the connections that you have with people are not as deeply spiritual as you would like them to be, as deeply connected. The Queen of Cups. Well, look at that. So it is love. So there's, I would say, yeah, love is the thing that is feeling lacking here. A deep spiritual love, like a connection that that you can feel through time and space, really. Okay, now what's this with the fair man and deceit? The Wheel of Fortune. I feel on some level you may feel like you are connected to something that you can't get out of with the Wheel of Fortune. Like there's something going on in your life or some sort of rhythm or cycle that you feel like you're stuck in it, and it's almost like you need the solution to the puzzle to get out of it before you can get out of this cycle. And maybe it has something to do with maybe love, maybe there's some element you feel like, gosh, I need to truly understand love, or a deeper level of love in life. See, with the deceit card, it almost feels as if it could be, you know, goals that you chase or that you have chased or are chasing that kind of distract you from this here, this lacking in your life, and coming to terms with it. And I do feel like it's almost something that you've maybe made a promise to yourself. And even November, even if you don't have a birthday in November and you've said, I promised myself by the next birthday, it could even be your next birthday. And it's just come up as November to kind of say that to me, right? Like it's Spirit's way of communicating to me, because they have the Scorpio card out, and I would think, wow, a lot of them have birthdays in November. So it's almost like you've made a promise or a pact with yourself to see things as clearly as possible, because it's as if you know it doesn't matter like really how long or how much you try to think your way through something. in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Because you're approaching it. I feel like for you, somehow you're approaching a deadline that you've given yourself. So what happens if you get to the deadline? It's okay. I don't know, don't put so much pressure. But the sun. Oh, the lovers. Wow, look at that. The Three of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. Wow. This is intriguing. I mean, just look at the way she's cradling. We're really looking at the way she's cradling that pentacle. It's like she loves it so much. I love that pentacle. Pentacle. And it's just interesting because, you know, we have this perhaps love, money, or goals, but it came up as love and spirit, door to spirit, like a very deep connection here that moves your soul. Something that is eternal, as, you know, a coin, a pentacle, that is just... It's just three-dimensional and you're not taking it with you. But there's the transformation, right? Going from this nurturing the pentacle, the coin, to nurturing love. Nurturing something deep within you here. And that sits behind confusion. And then not really being able to see a way forward except by trusting in yourself. I love this Two of Swords. She's my favorite. Out of all my, I love her. The way she's standing there. She's got the swords behind her back, the wind in her hair. She looks like she's ready to go. Ready to go. And there may not be, because it's the Two of Swords, there may not be a logical reason why she's going in the direction that she's chosen, but she trusts herself. That's the biggest thing here, is to trust yourself. That's... I feel like part of the answer here to this in need of help, assistance, and guidance is trusting yourself. This could be something that you want to do or to grow with people from your past, or some people that you haven't been spending a lot of time with, or at least it is the focus on emotional happiness and celebration and things that feel good. You know, it's the difference between, you can sit around, let's say, a tiny little campfire in rickety little chairs or on logs and stumps, and you can have like a person or people around you that make the night an evening to remember, right? Like, it's just, the conversation is amazing. It just feels so comfortable and warm, and right, so that's what I get here. Like, this is just, it could be a simple campfire. There's nothing there. There's just some logs and twigs that you found in the woods that are dry, and you got it going, and you got the best people or person around you. Or with this, you could have fancy Adirondack chairs. You could have a whole big fire pit that's been created, you know, out of stones and mortar. It was quite costly to put together. And you could be sitting there either by yourself or with people that irritate you, or the conversation is really boring, or nobody gets you, or you don't get them. So what the hell is the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, this feels so much better. I mean, you don't need a lot to be happy, really. Not to say that doesn't get comfort. I mean, you could be in this situation with shitty people, and that just feels really uncomfortable. You don't even have a comfortable chair to sit in. But I don't know. I just can't help looking like this fish. Looks like it's trying to go after this wedge. I don't know if it's a piece of cake or a wedge of cheese. It's a wedge. Or maybe, I mean, it could be a wooden wedge. But it's pretty fancy. I think it's food. That's my Taurus moon talking. It's food. So doesn't he look like he's going after that wedge? And the fish. And okay, the one thing I think about goldfish, I think about carp. And carp are such a horrible invasive species in North America. They're just terrible destroyers of our ecosystem. They gobble everything up and they just grow and grow and grow and grow and they get enormous. And like increase in material wealth or spiritual growth, but it's like something, right? Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. And it feels like maybe somebody wants to feed off of something that you have. There could be someone around you that wants to feed off of what you have, or they don't want you to grow. They could see you growing and they want to like kind of gobble this up for themselves as well, as opposed like more like of a parasitic relationship, as opposed to trying to even work on themselves or think about, you know, people change. Am I changing? If I'm not changing, am I stuck? Am I afraid to move forward and grow and think about things differently? I feel like you have a pact with yourself about love by November. Let's see. Let's see. One more. Okay, can you specifically tell me about November? Specifically tell me about November. There you go. The Knight of Wands. What comes with it? And the Six of Pentacles. Wow. Really a drive forward to give. To give something equally. A drive forward to share a part of yourself. Look at, they're both going to the mountain. Gosh, it just feels like, I feel like I did a reading for you last year where there was something significant. I'm saying you. But the Scorpio energy, I honestly feel like this is collective. But I do feel like it's kind of coming up when I'm trying to do the Scorpio reading, because it's, November keeps triggering me to think about it would be associated with a birthday. Or be interesting to look to see where your Scorpio sits. Or to see what sits in your 8th house. But they're both, there's this mountain in both of these pictures here. And on one mountain, the sun is coming out around the edge. And on the other mountain, it's a dragon. And the sun is significant. Like there's a lot of synchronicities here. And it just feels like come November, something is very clear or will be clear, or it's a goal that you have for yourself. It could be how you share, how you make choices. But it certainly feels like something that you've hidden. You've hidden this. You've hidden it so well. And that is very Scorpio. But you've really hidden this very well. Okay, I feel like I'm going to go this way with clarifying. So November, it's definitely conquering the mountain and equally sharing something. The sun. It could even be something too, like doing even sort of like charity work. You know, with the Six of Pentacles. Like giving of yourself to those that are in need. Because it feels like you're just not... It also has a feeling of... You know, people talk about charity work, or if you've done any kind of charity work yourself. It's kind of a it's also a selfish thing. Because usually you're doing it because it gives you a sense of purpose and meaning. You know that you have something to offer, to give to the world or to a group, and there's someone who needs to receive it. So it gives you a sense of, yeah, like purpose. Because we all sort of need that in life. And it's kind of like that, like a hand, a need of help, assistance, and guidance. a sense of purpose. You feel something is lacking in your life. It could be a sense of deep purpose. Something of deep purpose is lacking in your life. Oh, what was the Sun? Oh my God, the Hermit. You're around your own campfire. Oh my God, it's crazy. That is so crazy. She's around the campfire. And look, she doesn't even have a chair or a stump. She's on the ground. She's on the ground around the... This is very, I would say this is very spiritual. Could be coming out of a hermit energy. Part of yourself that you've been hiding. Gosh, I feel like you've hidden this for so long. It almost becomes an ache. The Lovers, or just Lovers really. Lovers card. Oh, the Emperor. Certainly being in charge of your own choices. Really being in charge of your own choices here. Being your own leader. It's a huge leap going from the Hermit to the Emperor. It's almost like I'm getting, it's like a king without a castle. It's like a dog without an owner. Or no. It's like an owner without a dog. Because there's a sense here of, a captain without a boat. That's what this feels like. It's like a captain without a boat. Maybe you had a boat? And I mean that figuratively, like something that gave you purpose. You had something that gave you purpose. And now you're a captain without a boat. But I feel like you want to become the captain again. In some area, but it's a more... It's again, like, right? Like you are sitting around that campfire without the fancy things around you. So it comes from something much deeper. Fair man. This person could be Caucasian, you could be Caucasian, or it could just be someone who has gray, white, or blonde hair. 8 of Wands. Communication, movement, deceit. The Page of Swords and the 8 of Swords. You watch. You watch exactly what it is that you want, but you don't move towards it. Or you watch for... No, I feel like with this deceit... You watch, you either like physically watch something that you want, but you never go for it, or you're watching for something and you never see it. The 8 of Swords. Both of them are blind. Are blindfolded. The monkey and the person blinded. You can't see it. The Wheel of Fortune. The 10 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Oh, there's a big shift. I mean, that's exactly it. A huge shift. So maybe somebody's been deceived here. And with the 10 of Swords and that, it kind of feels like perhaps manipulated or backstabbed, and then flying past it, getting beyond that. You could even be working through things that have happened in your own life and that have made you hesitant to give of yourself. because of things that have happened to you in the past. But I mean, I really do see, is something going on here in November. The captain of your ship, the captain without a ship. And really turning this around. Gosh, it feels like a resolution almost, you know, but I mean, people typically do that in January. Maybe it's something, maybe it is even like some sort of resolution that you have for yourself that you want. But instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this starting January, it's, if I'm going to do this starting in January, if I'm going to make my new year this, I'm going to do this for myself, or I'm going to explore this, or I'm going to be truthful about this, I need to make steps getting there before I do that. And it's almost as if you said to yourself, I need to be here by November so that I can follow through into January. There's definitely some sort of timeline on this for some reason. The barrel. Oh my gosh, the Empress. Something is lacking in your life. It could be, they're a ship without a captain. Well, you can't captain her around, mister. But it is kind of like a yin and a yang. It is like a yin and a yang. A captain without a ship. Maybe this is making a big leap of some sort for you. In relationships, emotional, door to spirit. The Tower. Oh. The Tower, the Two of Cups, and the King of Wands. Oh, okay. This has a feeling to me of not realizing that something was lacking in your life until it appeared. And it shocks you. That's what this is. Because the Empress and the Lovers are here, and the Two of Cups are here with the door to spirit, and something is lacking in your life. But it's a Tower moment. It's like, it's not something that you expected. It's not something that you thought you needed. It's not something that you thought you wanted. But it's something that, I know what it is. It's reminding me of a reading I did a long time ago. I don't even know who it was for. But it was a really interesting analogy. Was like an old house. And, you know, with the old fuse. Those little fuse. What are those? The fuses. The fuses. You know, I suppose now we have the breaker switches. Like the old fuses that you had to like turn in there. And then you could tell when they were blown out. But this is almost like, you're this old house or your new house. No, you're an old house because you have this fuses. And there's a switch in the house. You know, you flick it and nobody, yeah, it's an old house. Not connected to anything anymore. And then one day you go downstairs and I don't know, maybe something goes. One of the fuses blows, so you have to go down there and you're trying to figure out which one it is because nobody labeled it right. Everything's been fine in the house. It's been great. And then, okay, so let's say, there's two of you in the house. And somebody's gone downstairs to put in a new fuse, but the first one that they see is blown is not actually the one to the stove or the fridge or whatever the hell it was. Or the light socket or the electrical you put your hairdryer in. It was the fuse to that light switch that was always on the wall and you never knew what it did. You know, you never needed it, you never wanted it, no. And it was kind of left in the up position the last time someone was looking around, I don't know what this stupid thing does. And that could even be like around love. I don't know, why do people fall in love? What, like maybe, I feel like this has something to do with love. But it even could have something to do with love that you feel like on a galactic level. Like just realizing something that you thought was always in fairy tales or or something that was just bullshit. I don't know. And you're standing near this switch waiting to see if the stove comes on. And they pull out that, this one's blown. So that's the one, and they put it in. The stove doesn't come on. That light switch gets activated. All of a sudden, the ceiling opens up. It starts opening up. You're like, what the hell is going on here? And then all this glorious light and music starts coming through. What's happening? What's happening? And so whoever's downstairs says, did the stove come on? No, oh my God, you won't believe what's going on. Oh shit, that wasn't, put that back. So then they changed to the other one. It closes up, it's gone, and then the stove comes on. Like, the stove means nothing. The stove means nothing. That's what this feels like. It's just something that was never activated. I don't need this. I don't know what this shit is. And then it gets activated. And you can't live without it. Now you keep thinking about, I need to go down and get, I don't know why. It's not that simple though. It doesn't feel like it's that simple. Maybe you're afraid of the basement. It's like boogeyman in the basement and you won't go down there and change the panel. So I don't know. But it's definitely like something that you feel like you can't live without once you find it. You can't unsee this. You can't unfeel this. You can't unwant this. So you need help. The thinking man. You can't think about this. You can't. This is not logical. I mean, that's what this feels like. This is the kind of stuff that happens in your life and it's not logical. It's even just going on a vacation somewhere to a far off land. You get there, you're never going back home. It's like, this is where I've always meant to be. I love it here. I'm going to call a real estate agent in my town, like 10,000 miles away, and they're going to sell my house, and I'm going to live here. And I'm going to send messages to all my friends and let them know I've quit my job. Like, it's just the kind of stuff that you don't expect. And it happens. But it's almost like maybe you left. You kind of felt like that. And then you left. And you came back home. And you can't stop thinking of that far off land. Like, it touches you somehow in your soul. And with the Dorch spirit, it definitely did. It touches you in a way that the only thing that could explain this is that there's no logical explanation for it. It simply is. It just simply is. See, that's it. It just simply is. You need help here. Yeah, you need help. The Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Oh, maybe you quit your job. Like, what? Now what do I do? Oh, don't. There's someone in the Gemini I've been having to give, like, I've had to tell them just to stop watching my channel. Don't do stupid things. I told you that at the beginning. These are just for entertainment. And you're already going to know. So, there's something here in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Well, if you got yourself into a stupid situation, you're not going to get the answer until you get yourself out of a stupid situation. That's for sure. It doesn't matter how many people you ask. The universe is going to wait for you to figure that out. But the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, you're moving away. You're moving away from something that you've already perfected in life. Again, it feels like there's something more spiritual here that you can't explain. It's not explainable. You can't logic it. It just is. And it's almost like it's driving you crazy, perhaps. And it's not, I don't know that it's driving you crazy to thinking about it. It's the fact that it is. And maybe you have no control over it. It's kind of that point in life where you realize, you know, you're busy making plans and the universe says, guess what's about to happen to you? The thinking man. It is the captain without a boat. But it's almost as if you didn't realize you wanted the boat. I'm like, wow, I really want the boat. The 10 of Cups. Wow. It's like so much here about emotional fulfillments. Emotional fulfillments on a level that's unexplainable. The 5 of Wands. Wow. Oh, maybe there's a lot of internal conflict. You want a fortune cookie here. I'm not going to do an extended for this. I'm just going to do a fortune cookie. Let's see. What does the fortune cookie tell you? What's the fortune cookie tell you? What's the fortune cookie telling? All those that have come to this really interesting. Is it just the one? It felt like there was 2. Difficult times. Be on your guard against chaos as unforeseen perils or emotional upheaval are foretold. Well, that's interesting. Gee, thanks, Cindy, right? Well, what is going on? I feel like there's like a choice. There's something that you have to do. A decision you have to make. And it's almost as if the decision is like always there. Again, it does have that feeling of having gone on a vacation somewhere to some far off land and you can't stop thinking about it. You go back home and people are talking to you at the dinner table. Like, hello, what? And you're like there. You're back at that place. You can't leave it. You go to work. Maybe, I don't know. You definitely want to work on something that you've never worked on before. Not like this. And then you think to yourself, well, I'll forget it. I'll forget about it once I've left. I'm like, okay, a couple more months and I'll forget about it. So I don't know, maybe November? Maybe you have something here that you've said to yourself. If I can't put this to rest by November, I know that I'm going to quit my job. Don't do that unless you really want to. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to sell the house. I'm going. Because if I can't get this out of my head by November, why? I don't know. It's just life. Life is weird. Assert yourself. Challenges. Go for what you want. The time is ripe for soulmate connections. Birth of a child is also likely. Challenges. Take time out from problems or conflicts or approach softly to avoid making matters worse. You know, I don't know, with the 5 of Wands and that, it could almost feel like, it's almost like something that you want, but other people will find conflict in it. Because our lives get wrapped up with other people's lives, right? So, I don't know. That's really interesting, my friends. So, that's what I got for you. It's just, I had to come out. It had to come out, so I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if it gave you the answers that you wanted, the help that you needed. But yeah, sometimes things just are, and you just do, and that's how it goes. So, until next time, my friends, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.